You know what it is. It's your boy G Bush back in the building after a little hiatus. Stop playing it. You know what it is. Shout out to Pizza 216, man. Make sure you go out, check out Pizza 216. That oven brick oven, them crispy edges, man. You see what it is. We moving out here. Welcome into the Cavs post-game show. I'm your boy G Bush. We rocking and rolling on a good one. Rocking and rolling on a Cavs win in overtime. Crowd was electric. Once again, listen, we came off a L against the Miami Heat, and trust me, I was feeling bad about that L. That L was looking crazy. We double that back up. We go to Chicago. We had nothing for them. We had nothing for them. And what do we have? What do we have here? We are going to go immediately to the hotline. Immediately to hotline.
Call from dot. To accept,
let's see what we
press
got.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Who's on the hotline? Somebody on the hotline?
To accept, press
Who's
1.
calling?
To send a voicemail, press.
We'll see. Who do we have on the hotline? What's going on?
This is Ryan Bush. Enjoyed the game. The Cavs look a lot better.
So my pops is on the line. Clap it up for him. Now listen. Now you was kind of salty. I tried to call you. I had to do a health and wellness check because you wouldn't answer my phone calls. Because you were so mad. You were so mad at these Cavaliers the last couple of games. What did you see this game that had you ready to go?
Well, I seen the ball movement was better this game. It was good to have LeVert back. It seems like when they trapped Garland in later quarters, he was able to get the ball and become a passer, he was also a threat to shoot the ball, so it left people open. And I think that's going down the line. In these next few games, that's going to be beneficial to the Cavs.
Now, listen, one of the guys that I saw. Now, we haven't seen this man in well over 2-3 weeks. We saw a little bit from him. Caris LeVert was back in the lineup. I thought he gave him some stuff. I think he had 11 points. We'll go over the box score here in a second. But Caris LeVert really did what he needed to do. I thought he had a really good game. And he just gave you another ball handler. Somebody can dribble the ball and somebody can get their shot if the shot clock's going down. How did you think he played?
I think he played real well. And it helped because they didn't have to play Osman so many minutes. Caris LeVert is a threat from the mid-range, and also he's a great ball handler. He also played very good defensively.
He did play deep tonight.
We welcome him back, and it seems like we have a chance to win at least 3 out of 4 or 5 of these games, at least 3 of these games. Hopefully we go 4 out of 5. But the energy was up, and it was good to just see the home crowd get into it, especially down the stretch when we really needed them.
There's another guy, Lauri. I say between Lauri Markkanen and Isaac Okoro, those two guys, you got to get something from either one of them, especially when Jared Allen was out. Lauri Markkanen's been giving you those points, but tonight, Isaac Okoro, he gave you that toughness. He gave you some athleticism. I thought he rebounded and played a good defense. And if he can hit open shots, he ain't got to hit all of them. But if he can knock down, 30% from the 3-point line and still be aggressive going to the basket, I think he's a definite plus going into the postseason.
Yes, and I think it was a good idea for Bickerstaff to put Stevens in. That gives them another defensive player, and also a guy that will drive to the basket. He doesn't need many shots, but defensively he does well. Him and Isaac Okoro did real well. I think they did better closing off those 3-point shooters in the second half. The first half, they were just burying them. The second half, I think Coach probably got after them, and they closed off a lot of those 3-point shots, and that really helped them. But Mobley is a beast. He's a beast. You just see him coming into his own. He's starting to go get his shots. He knows where shots is coming from, and finally they're getting the ball where he needs to get it.
And you know what? And now we haven't even talked about that. That's the person, Evan Mobley, career high today, 30 points. And now, before we saw Evan Mobley have an opportunity to play the 4 spot with Jared Allen, and because Jared Allen kind of preoccupies some of the places on the baseline, and he gets a lot of those lobs and handoffs from Darius Garland. Now we're starting to see Evan Mobley's full game, because now it's not so jumbled. He can move around. He can get on the elbow. He's able to post up. And I think he's looked a lot more comfortable being able to do what he does down low. How are they going to keep this type momentum when Jared Allen comes back?
Yeah. And, and one thing else about Mobley, he's a good passer. He looks for guys that's open, and that actually helps Garland and the rest of the guys, with the assist totals. So I enjoyed the game. It was a good game. I'm just glad we're back in the winning circle.
We got to stay above that 7. I'm looking. We'll go, and I'll talk about the box scores coming up here a little bit later. As always, I appreciate you checking in on your son, man. Next time the Cavs lose, man, you can answer on your phone, man. You can answer, dog.
All right, you continue to do a good job.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
As always, man. Shout out to my pops, and he just calling in, just checking in. He a big Cavs fan. He a big reason why I even started doing it. He just kept beating my ears up so much. He was just like, "Look, hey, I know you're doing this Brown stuff. We need these Cavs. I need that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he switched his whole cable package. Couldn't even watch him. He said he was calling every single cable company. Hey, man, y'all got bellies? Oh, y'all don't? Bye." Let's get to the box score. Shout out. Let's get to some of the cats real quick. 38 people right here watching after a big Cavs win. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure you hit the like button. It's all about the Cavs material. We want this to get out to as many people as we can. Make sure y'all do that. Let's start it off today. We had one phone call, but let's get it. Bibo, I don't know what that is. Karras showed us and showed up on the defensive end. Hey, did you see that vigor? Did you see him moving around them screens? He looked real fresh. He must have been hearing them chats, because I was saying, listen, we need all that. We need Caris LeVert back. I don't know where he's been. We have not seen him since he got that. It's almost like you ever see somebody that go through training and do their first 2 weeks. They get their first 2-week paycheck and be gone. You're like, didn't we just hire 4 people? Yeah, 2 of them out of here. Went through training, got their first check. I told you to start holding their first checks. Hold that first check. Everybody show up to it for a month. How many of y'all remember that? Sometimes they hold that first check on you. You be like, man, I've been working 2 months. We ain't got no checks coming. Nah, they hold a week. That's been 6 weeks. That's 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Hey, Bradley, thank God marketing is back and Caris LeVert is back strong 100. Now everybody can get slotted and fitted. We had way too many people dribbling the ball. It was like 4th grade basketball. Everybody's dribbling. No. Give it to a guard. JB was smart shorting his bench in the second half. No Jetty, no Ed Davis, no Stevens. Got the quick hook. Hey, when you got cats back from injury, you ain't got no time to be playing with them. You can only go with 1 or 2 of them. And whoever don't got it, the first mistake they come out, you feel bad for them, they got to go. Got to go. Good win for the Cavs. Definitely good win for the Cavs. Great win for the Cavs. What you talk about? We'll take great. Watson is crazy. These guys, we got the crossover crowd. Shout out to you, by the way. Watson is crazy for saying he don't want to play in cold weather. Why are you a football player then? Hey, this is silly season. Always remember this, man. Until you get a meeting, until you sit in front of somebody, it's different. This is internet dating out here nowadays, man. I don't know if you guys are any of you new dudes have been out here internet dating. Internet dating is crazy. Until you see that person in full-fledged, like I see you across from me, don't believe none of that on the internet. I'm like, man, you Photoshopped that? They got people running around with cat and bunny ears. I'm like, what is that? They're all like, oh, you just like the filter. Oh, you like that filter. So we'll continue to monitor the quarterback market. let's get to these stats real quick. Throw this on here really quickly. Let's get into what's going on with the Cavs. Here we go. I can see a little bit better now. Big time win for the Cavs. Let me get rid of this though. Hold on. Let me get rid of my little banner. I want to be able to see. You guys know what it. There we go. Now let's go ahead. See, I'm moving around today. I'm agile. Cavs win 121-11. Good win for the Cavs. This is a game that we needed to get. I like to stay over 10 games over 500. I don't like to see that dwindling. Cavs was losing some games, but on the road, that's going to happen. But what you need to do is find ways to get stops and find a way to get wins when you at home. And if you take a look at this, crowd was electric. The chance of defense, and they got some stops down the stretch and really got this win. So winning the overtime, but hey, we're going to take that. You look at the field goal percentage, Cavs shot better than the Clippers. Clippers at 43% and the Cavs at 47%. 3-point field goals was big today. Cavs were 15 or 30. Anytime you get anything over 12 3-pointers, that's going to lead to you getting a decided, point total, especially if you play trading 3 for 2. And so the Cavs are 50% beyond the 3-point arc. You look at what the Clippers did, 12 or 36, 33%. That is big for the Cavs. When the Cavs shoot well and you can get 3-point shots, because they don't have that many on the team if you look at it. The guys that are hitting threes are basically marketing. Kevin Love, you got Darius Garland. Karis LeVert is not really a big-time jump shooter. Okoro is spotty. Jetty is spotty. So anytime you can shoot that percentage, you're gonna live with that, and you really can win a lot of games when you shoot 50%. Looking at the free throw percentage, 13 of 17, 76% for the Clippers. Coffey gave us one that was huge. By the way, they tried to rob us on that too. They tried to really rob us in getting into overtime. That was a clear charge. I don't understand how you could take a charge square between the numbers. The guy extends his arm, knocks you into the first row, and then they talking about, nah, we going. I don't even know why we going to Secaucus anymore. Why do y'all go over there and review this stuff and you're not going to keep it real? You're not going to tell the truth about the situation. Ball don't lie. Coffey missed one of those free throws, and we was able to get that game into overtime. Cavs 23 of 32, 70%. We got to get that up too. If the Cavs are going to be a team that's going to really get into the playoffs and win, you're going to have to hit free throws because we're not a really great shooting team. 71%, 72%, somewhere around that. We got to get that by 80. We got to get that up by 80. Rebounding. It was pretty much, even. We out-rebounded him by 6. Zubac was a monster today, but so was Evan Mobley. We'll get to the young man. He's out here racing everything by the rim. And I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what you guys out there are talking about. Rookie of the year. Come on now. This guy, Evan Mobley, is out here. He defensively, it's not close. Let's stop talking about these guys. I like Cunningham. I like the kid from Toronto. But when it comes to the defensive end, and I'm not just talking block shots. I'm talking about contests too. I'm talking about the way you change the game. Come on, bro. It ain't even close, man. These dudes is out here box score watching. I don't know what y'all watching, man. Assist. Hey, without Reggie Jackson, this is a really good number. 29 assists for the Clippers. Reggie Jackson didn't play this game. Also 28 assists for the Cavs. Blocks. I told you Zubac and them cats was down there getting busy. 8 blocks for the Clippers. He played a good game. 4 blocks there as well. 4 blocks there for the Cavs. And most of them came by, who, big fella doing this thing, man. All right, man. Let me get back to this because I had the little banner up. I can't see nothing. I'll be out here moving around. 11 turnovers for the Cavs. 11 turnovers for the Cavs. Not too bad. We was up around 17, 18, 19 turnovers, man. 17, 18, 19 turnovers when we were losing. And so we got that down. It was a long stretch of the game in overtime and in the fourth quarter where we wasn't turning the ball over. That paid dividends. Points in the paint, we actually lost that 50 to 56. The Clippers were a monster in the paint, but when you do outshoot somebody and when you do shoot 15 or 30, that's where the points come from. That's where you can make up being out rebounded a little bit right there. And we want to just get to this, man. I want to shout out to my man William Wise. Seems like Mobley's best position is center. I told you, it is his best position, but just he's doing that because the game to be a 4, you need to be a stretch 4. And right now, I believe Mobley is shooting somewhere about 29%, 28% from 3. He needs to get that over about 35 for you to be a true stretch 4. Also, he doesn't have the true confidence to pull up for that elbow jumper. When he start getting that confidence, when he just going to rise up and hit that elbow jumper on you, then you're going to have problems. Right? When he start getting that, like LaMarcus Aldridge got that jumper, and you look at the traditional big men, LaMarcus Aldridge, Patrick Ewing is a guy who shot that very well. Guys like that, even Charles Oakley, guys like that were, shorter. Larry Johnson, that elbow jumper is something that they live on. So when you talk about whether Evan Mobley can get to the next level, is when he started hitting that and then stretching people out, it's over. I don't know what y'all gonna do. And he might, and this is when he get on the weight program. See, right now he's getting bullied. When you look at the stats, you can see guys. One of the things that they want to do with him is get into his chest, because if you get into his chest, he can't extend and block the shot. So everybody's trying to bully him, right? And even now, he's giving up 30, 40, 50 pounds, and he's still getting to the shots. He's still getting to them. It's going to be a long night for y'all. Wait till Allen and Mobley get an off season. See, that's why. Ooh, come on now. Come on. And they still young boys. That's why the Cavs, that's why we rock with the Cavs, man. Let's get back to some of these quotes a little bit too. We back to them. Karen Phillips back on the channel. Appreciate it. 54 people in here. Mind you, please hit that like button. 54 people in here. Let's keep this trending. We're gonna rock and roll this all the way to the spring. And shout out to Pizza 216, by the way. If you haven't got one of these pizzas, boy, now I'm on a diet. Shout out to them. I can't do it like I used to. But if you in the city, make sure you go get one of them pizzas. Pizza 216. Big fan of the show. I appreciate you guys. Devin Posey. Now, I know Julian Posey. I know a DeVere Posey. I don't know if you family, but we'll go ahead and read your comment anyway because you family, because you're in the building. Mobley's play, I'm playing at the 5 is going to be unstoppable in future. They're not going to be able to see that. Not going to be able to see it. Why did they just sign Brown just to keep on the bench, Bush? He's 7'2", for Christ's sakes. Well, for the Cavs, you don't never know who's going to play for the Cavs. So you got Jared Allen that went down. You don't know what's up with Evan Mobley. If Evan Mobley goes down, you're in trouble. Now you have no center, right? So they tried it with Taco Fall. He was 7'9" or something stupid. They're just trying to find guys. Ed Davis is another dude that they got in there. They're just trying to keep some bodies and make sure that if something happened to Mobley where he go down, we don't just have to tank and put guards in there. We don't have to do that. Julian Anthony says locking down on Kennard was big. LeVert playing D. He want to start. Hey, it looked like somebody told him something before the game. It looked like a JB or one of his henchmen. JB, shout out to them, man. You know what I appreciate? I was watching JB Bickerstaff, and he got a bench full of brothers on his roster. A bench full of just clean cut, solid brothers on the roster. I said, wow, he has an all-black coaching staff. I said, man, that was refreshing to see, just to see, like, a lot of times you get one guy, you see 1-2 guys. He gave a lot of dudes opportunities, man. I like to see that. I like to see all them cats out there. Shout out to him. But they look like one of them pulled Karis LeVert aside and said, listen, hey, young fella, we don't need something. You owe us 20. You owe us that money back. You know what I'm saying? We've been holding you down. We've been holding you down these last couple of weeks. We've been running Goodwin, Jetty been trying to play point. We need to show what you got. And if you ain't got your shot right, cool. We know you ain't been shooting. But guess what? I need you to be locking down. Effort. And just seeing athleticism and length. When you 6'6" and you got some length, stuff get a little, I'm in the passing lane. Just get somewhere. And so, I'll take that. We'll work on his offensive game. We can get there. Mobley's a franchise changer. I can't disagree. Sometimes when you argue about, is you franchise? Is this franchise? Are they good? Are they a franchise changing player? You don't never have to ask that question if you just watch. That's it. You don't have to look and squint and pull your glasses down and say, well, on a Sunday night after Matlock and Murder, She Wrote, after a warm glass of milk, I think he could be a franchise. No, you don't have to do all of that. You just know. You just be looking out there and you be like, you watch other teams, you be like, man, that dude is nice. That guy's really good. And you just know. You ain't got to do all that. Mobley at center. Everybody like Mobley at center. Let's get back to this is funny. Hey, listen, shout out to you. I'm going to give you some love. He said, I know it's the Cavs post, but what you think the Browns got playing? They came, shout out to you, man, kids. They came and jumped on. Hey, listen, G. Bush going to have to give us something, dog. He over here talking all this doggone basketball. He going to have to give us something on these Browns. What they doing at quarterback? This unacceptable. Hey, man, listen, I think the Browns, they might have something up their sleeves, right? They've got a little something up their sleeves. I like Amari Cooper. I like what they're doing right there. If they can get you a little Allen Robinson, I think you can sway some people. Right now, it's all about building the roster. Because right now, you got to think, if I got Amari Cooper, go ahead and give me Allen Robinson. Now I got flexibility in the draft. If I got flexibility in the draft, that means I can give these picks away. And why would you give picks away? See what I did there? All right, let's get to some of the box scores. Let's get to this a little bit. Let's go. Zubac was a monster today. He went big head mode on everybody. He dunked on a lot of people. He was running around, knocking people. By the way, that's a flagrant foul. That should have been a flagrant foul. He hit Isaac Okoro all around his shoulders up top. That Zubac, the Cavs still ain't getting the breaks. They're still not getting the level of calls because they disrespect them because they're young dudes. And they some nice guys, man. Nice, young, respectable dudes. Listen, if I had kids, or I don't got no kids, but if I had a sister, I'd let my sister date Mobley or Garland or Jared Allen. I know he's gonna be financially solvent. I know he ain't gonna spend all his money on jewelry. I know he ain't gonna do that, right? Isaac Okoro's a nice young man. He looks like he take the trash out. Look, I let my sister date any of them dudes. Terrence Mann, 18 points today. 18 points today. Zubac, 24 and 14. Look at the minutes these guys playing. 45 minutes for Terrence Mann. Luke Kennard, the lefty, 14 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Coffey was the guy that scared me down the backstretch. I thought he was going to hit a couple of them threes. 19 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 40 minutes for him too. And if you listen to Ty Lue was back in the building again, former Cavaliers coach. He said, the Cavs they ran out of gas a little bit. They ran out of gas against the Cavs. Nicholas Batum, 6 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Brandon Boston, 11 points. Isaiah Hartenstein had 10 points, and Semi Ojeleye. I didn't know Semi Ojeleye was still in the league, man. One of the best names in the game. And we had old Rodney Hood back in the building. Rodney Hood got about 11 minutes, and he did what Rodney Hood usually does. You be like, Rodney, shoot. Pull up. You got it. Rodney Hood, he did his thing. Shout out to them, man. Cedric Lyons, man. Much respect, bro. Cedric, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that super chats, that shows me love, that really supports the supports the stream. Hey, there's a lot of people out here. I know what it is, man. With the economy, we moving around. Gas is $10 a gallon, man. The foods, the shelves is half empty. Listen, you ain't got to do none of that, man. I appreciate every single dime, every single donation I get. But if you can't do that, I understand that, man. Just hit that like button. Just support the content. And that's good enough for me, man. That's good enough for me. 70 people in here, hit that like button. Let's keep it moving. Let's get to the Cavs. We'll get to some more comments as well. Let's get to the Cavs here. I'll tell you what, Cavs tonight. Let's give them flowers to some people. Evan Mobley. I don't know. I got some sound effects. I don't even know what they be doing. Can somebody tell me what's the sound effects? There we go. Evan Mobley, my man. Evan Mobley, man, 30 points. He only had 1 assist, but it was a nice assist though too. A little look away. I like that. 6 rebounds, 30 points, 40 minutes for Evan Mobley. The dude is, man, the dude, I don't want to gush all over him too much like I'm a teenage girl, but just, you don't see too much from him. You ain't never heard no crazy stuff about him. I even looked him up. I was looking up their girlfriends. I'm saying, these dudes in the streets, please don't be messing with the Instagram girls. Please don't. All these dudes, I think they still play video games. I don't even know they old enough to drink. Lori Marketing, a sneaky 17. That's a sneaky 17. And let me tell you something too. You know why I respect marketing? Because I've played on the ankle, right? When you twist the ankle and when you severely hurt an ankle, you have no lift. I've torn 2 of my ACLs, but I've also really had a high ankle sprain. And I would rather have the ACL coming back and trying to do, because you have no lift with the ankle. The ankle's not going to heal until after the season. You move it around a little bit. It's stiff. It hurts. To play 46 minutes, and you could tell he still hurt a little bit, but 46 minutes, 17 points, 9 rebounds, and the rebounds is the way I look at from Lori. When Lori is in the game, here's how I know when Lori Marketing is locked in. When I can see his rebound totals. If he give me anything over 8 rebounds, I know he locked in, because that's not really his game. 9 rebounds when Jared Allen is not in, clap it up. I'll take that every time. Darius Garland, he had like 4 points at halftime. And this is how superstars roll. And I think you need to get ready to start calling him a household name. So get ready to start calling Darius Garland one of those dudes, because I think sometimes, and I keep comparing them to Kyrie Irving a little bit, but to me, maybe because Kyrie is mad flashy, he got the Nike deal, he had the Jeep Grand Cherokee deal, he was Uncle Drew, he was Rookie of the Year, he went to Duke. Darius Garland went to Vanderbilt, but he was hurt just like Kyrie. He could dribble, but not as good as Kyrie. But when you look at these points, and because Kyrie never was giving you the 13 like that, and he's doing this on the ground level. Kyrie was really getting money when they had guys. Anthony Bennett was on that team. JJ Hickson was still on that squad. Deion Waiters was still on that team, but he wasn't giving you 24 and 13. He was giving you 24 and 5, 24 and 26 and 4, but he wasn't giving you the 13. And so I think Garland's upside on that 13 looks crazy. And you got to think about it. Laverne ain't here, Allen ain't here, and if they can find a way to keep Sexton is another guy that can finish. That's a big night for him. And then this is where the Cavs have to win. The Cavs have to win at 3 positions right now. There are 3 positions. One of them is shooting guard. One of them is small forward. One of them is power forward. When you look at it, 39 minutes from Isaac Okoro, 20 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, all rough style, all rough. It wasn't nothing light about that. Wasn't nothing fluttery about that. That man Isaac Okoro went at it tonight. That hit he took from Zubac and hit that ground. I heard that from my house. I heard that in Lakewood. I'm like, dang. He got up, shrugged it off, and went to the free throw line. That 20 points is huge for the Cavs because when you're dealing with guys that you don't really know what you're going to get, two of these guys got to show up and play very well for you to win. And one of them is Isaac Okoro. You go down here, you can see Lamar Stevens. He had a quick hook tonight. Lamar, Lamar is one of them guys. I give it to him. Lamar give you six hard fouls, but sometimes he do some stuff that leave your head scratching. I'm like, come on, Lamar, you can't do that. Come on now, big homie. Come on, think. Lamar Stevens got the quick hook tonight. 5 points, one assist, 4 rebounds, 13 minutes. Caris LeVert came back. They said they had a minutes restriction. He was supposed to do 24 minutes. Ended up getting 25, 11 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds. But most people kept talking about it. It wasn't just that. It was what he was giving you in terms of his defense. All over the court. Loved it. Kevin Love, this is the next guy. So if you need the 3 for the Cavs to win, one is Isaac Okoro, one's Kevin Love. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 18 minutes. Super efficient. And he's been mostly doing that all year. So he gave you that. And then you scroll down a little bit, and you can kind of see Dylan Windler played a couple minutes. Brandon Goodwin played a couple minutes. Big time block by Goodwin, by the way. One of the best blocks I've seen by a small guy. He got up. That was crazy. And Jetty is the other guy that you need something from. The other guy who you need to get something from in terms of in the playoffs. But he right now, Jetty didn't score. He had 1 assist, only played 8 minutes. However, do you see how we can offset that? You can offset it if you can get a guy like Caris LeVert who steps up and then gives you 11, right? Now he could take over from what Jetty didn't give you. Now you see Kevin Love at 13 and 9. We'll take that. And then you get Isaac Okoro, who you never expected and just get 20 from, right? So that's how you can keep up with that. That's how you can go ahead in the playoffs. That's the recipe for winning, especially when you don't have Jared Allen. Let's get back to some of the comments here. Appreciate you guys. 75 people. This might be a record. Shout out to you guys, man. This might be a record amount of people that's in the chat right now. 75 people. And to some people, it's just like, 75. What are you talking about? Listen, we starting something from the ground up. People don't understand. The Cavs was not talked about on air. The Cavs is not talked about on mainstream. There's 2 radio stations in town. I happen to work at one of them. You don't get too much Cavaliers talk. You can't talk Cavs, man. That people not trying to hear that. You don't see the level of passion on Twitter about the Cavs. So for it to be 10:49, almost 11 o'clock Eastern time, and we got 75 people in here watching Cavs content, that's a blessing. Keep going ahead, hit that like button. 75 is the record. Let's continue to get your reaction after the Cavs game as well. Let's go to Ron Hampton. We need more consistent play. We lose every other quarter, one loss. Won the first, lost the second, won the third, lost the fourth, OT. Ryan, it's tough to do with young guys, especially when you're dealing with young point guards. And your 2 best players is Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. And they just young. I was losing my mind a little bit too when, I think Darius Garland dropped a dime to Mobley and it went right through his hands. And I'm like, oh, shoot, we about to be in for it. It was crazy. We were going to get spanked by Philly the next game if we struggled against the Clippers. Also, why do we sign Brown just to keep him on the bench? He's 72, and Ed Davis is a bum. Well, I'll tell you what, you might get a chance to see those guys. When you're playing against a guy like Joel Embiid, you need more than one guy, especially when you don't got Allen in the game. So you might see both of those guys. I think you might see 7-2 guy. And plus, you have to realize you have to temper your expectations for people that just come in 10-day contracts. They sign them on a 10-day contract. but that doesn't mean he knows the plays. That doesn't mean he knows the rotations. So they got to bring him along a little easier. Mobley is going to be amazing once he puts on a little weight, gets a little stronger, and once he has time to truly work on his shot from three, it's going to be deadly. I totally agree with that. When he finally gets that into a system, he's going to be a great player. But defensively, he has a legitimate defensive player of the year type motor and skills and instincts, because blocking shots is instincts. You can't teach people how to block shots. It's like people say, why don't quarterbacks throw back shoulder fades? You can't teach that. You can work on it, but you need a receiver as well as a quarterback that are in tune, and I'm throwing that. They was in man coverage. I'm throwing it to the back shoulder. That's something that you could work on in practice, but to be great at, you just got to have it. Mobley got bullied down there in the paint. Trust and believe it's going to change. Trust and believe it's going to change. Yeah, with little weights, he'll get that. Little weight, yeah, we'll do that. Let's continue to go on. Julius Jameson's after Matlock. Hey, don't get it twisted. Man, listen, that USA lineup used to get it. I used to watch Angela Lansbury. See, I used to hang out with my grandma. So she would be watching Angela Lansbury, Bob Newhart, and then it would be like the heat of the night to come on. In the heat of the night. Listen, I'm like, man, I was watching. I'm like, is this still slavery going on down there? There was some really, I'm like, these storylines, I'm comfortable with the heat of the night. I don't like that. USA, man, has some funny programming. I might do a podcast on that. Sound like how people try to convince themselves of bad. See, I didn't even say that. If you look at Karis LeVert's numbers, and you look at the fact that he if you glance, he looked like Jordan with the braids. Karis LeVert could possibly be the best shooting guard in the history. Boy, y'all be playing around. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to quit. See what I did right there? My man, Mr. Lyons, I thank you so much. Let's see. Kid Wilson 33. I hope we get Watson Carr or Winston. Good gracious. The hate is a lot. Now, I can't say I hate anybody. Contrary to popular belief, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate Baker. I don't hate Stefanski. I don't hate OBJ. I don't hate anybody. When you played the game and you played at a high level or you played it to a certain age, people don't even know. You can't. It's almost like you like guys. Like anybody that has to get up and run and know about having to rehab injuries and know how to feel, how it feels when you tear ACLs, or knows how to feel to lose a game or people boo you or send you hate mail. It's almost like you can't do that. It's like I can't be mad at somebody. Even if Baker Mayfield showed up at my door, I'd be like, yo, what's up, man? We talk and hang and chill and everything. And then if he asks me personally, like, what do you think about my game? I'm like, listen, bro, I think sometimes you be confused where you be throwing the rock. Sometimes I think your pocket presence is not all there. Sometimes I think your mechanics are this, right? He might say, well, let's pop your defensive line tape in. See, you was too high off the ball. It looked like you didn't get to a pass rush move, and it looked like your base was too wide. You see how that works? I don't hate you. He don't hate me. It's just what it is. So, hate is such a strong word. Hate is such a strong word. Hello, how did Laurie get kicked in giblets and still get called for the foul? It's the Cleveland Cavaliers thing. It is. I'm not gonna lie to you. If the Cavs think they're gonna get some sort of playoff joints or some fouls, they better get JB Bickerstaff be looking like he be literally like Dame Dash, because I think Dame Dash and JB Bickerstaff is like stunt doubles for one another. He be mad as hell. Like, This is crazy. You see, he had to go. The young lady who was a female referee, he had to go apologize to that young lady for all that stuff he said. It was all true though. It was a horrible call. It was a horrible call. I love our young team. J.A. also cooks. He makes homemade buns in Czech. You know what? This makes people right here. This kills my diet. Everybody it kills my diet because now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder can I have some rolls? Rolls will be awesome right now. Let's take a look at the standings really quickly. Take a look at the standings really fast. This was a big win, and I'll show you why. You look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, we're right there, and look who's behind us. The doggone Raptors. Now, we already beat them, right? But they did get a win last week against the Suns, which says something. Suns bet one of the best teams in the league. We got these guys coming up again. We cannot lose to these dudes. You look at it, we are we're one game ahead of the Sun or Raptors, one game ahead of them. And right now, we need to stay in that sixth spot. You look at the Raptors, you look at the Nets, you look at the Hawks. And I'll tell you what, after what I saw the Nets do to the Sixers, hey, I need y'all to keep that mandate. Because if they're going to start letting Kyrie Irving play in every game, we don't want no smoke. We don't want to be in that playing game. Let me get. I'll take the Bulls or the Celtics. Give me either one of them. And I told you how I feel about the Heat. Give me either one. I don't really care about them. But you look at these standings. I think that if you look at the streaks and look at the splits, everybody's super consistent. In the last 10, you got the Heat are 7-3. In the last 10, 6 or 7-3. Bucks are 7-3. The Bulls got a little bit of momentum by beating the Cavs, 7-3 for the Celtics in the last 10. And look at the Cavs, 3-7 in the last 10. You know, we're trending as one of the worst teams in the league in the last 10. Down there with the Wizards, the Knicks, and not even better than the Pacers, Pistons, or Magic. So we need to get these next couple games at home. And when you take a look at the next couple games at home, here's where you can get whole. Here's where you can get whole a little bit. You got the Sixers, right? You're going to have to show them something. You're going to have to split one of these games. Either I would prefer you get the Sixers because that's in the East. But you're going to have to either split that and get that Nuggets game or the Sixers. I'd prefer the Sixers. But all these games at home, you got Wednesday coming up, 7 o'clock against the Sixers, 7:30 on Friday against the Nuggets, Pistons on Saturday, and you got to get them. This is a trap game. This is one of the trap. I can always see these games. You got a home stand. You're playing against a really good team in the Sixers and Nuggets. You come back home, you get 2 wins, and then all of a sudden you lay one to the Cade Cunningham Pistons. We can't have that. Can't have it. And then you're going to go into a game, and it's an emotional game. And here's what you should do. You should lay it on the Lakers. I'm not going to lie. LeBron may get 40. He's been playing out of his mind, is putting the ball in the basket. 78 people in here, please hit that like button. Show some love. Show that support. As soon as I said it went to 72. We should put something on the Lakers. They're a bad team. AD's out. Westbrook looks lost. LeBron's playing out of his mind. We should put it on him and tell him, look, you can come back when you come back for 4 or 5 years when your son come back. You could be at the end of the bench or something. We bring you back. And then the really 2 big games, and we start off the next week, Cleveland Cavaliers with the Raptors, huge game. I can't even express how big that game is. That's at home. And then you look at the Bulls and the Cavaliers again. You need to get them back too. So you look at it, a lot of games coming up here, and it's heading down the backstretch, but you got them at home. You got to win some of those games. Got to get to them. Let's read and ride out on this on a solid note. Let's get to in their tweets. I didn't say tweets, not really tweets, but messages. We'll get to those too. All right, let's see who in the chat. B Skrill says 30-6 Raptors versus Lakers in the first quarter. Boy. Yeah, we're going to have to beat Lakers. Come on, fight back. You ain't got to take that. Good gracious. Let's see. Honestly, I think we could catch the Sixers slipping on Wednesday. They need to. They done played them enough times. They know what they bring into the table. And the Sixers is really reeling after what I saw the Nets do to them. Thank you, G. Bush. You're pretty much the daily Cleveland Cavaliers content. Talking Browns 365 on radio as lazy host and on autopilot. I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. See, maybe a lot of these dudes didn't play no basketball. See, I played basketball in high school. You couldn't. Basketball always got it done, to be truthful. I had a helmet on. Basketball season come around, all the fly ladies like the basketball players. And besides, honestly, to be truthful, it just ain't nothing really popping right now with the Browns. You know, we could get all the people they want. They could get all the people, and until they get to these practices, you're not getting me again. I'm sorry. The Super Bowl in April and the Super Bowl all summer, nah, I'm sorry. I can't do it. Sorry. Not me. Can't do it. Man, that would be something. Bron doesn't like to lose to his team. Hey, if they put him on him, LeBron's coming back. Mark my words. If Darius Garland and the rest of them put him on it, if they put that thing and lay the hammer down, LeBron will come back. I think he's coming back. I said it probably 2-3 months ago. I said he's coming back anyway after that whole speech. He won't be the same player. But I do want to say, after crunching the numbers, his numbers are otherworldly. They're otherworldly. I've never seen somebody that old average that many points. I mean, this guy has 10,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. That's ridiculous. Like, think about this, man. And I'm just not knocking him. And it's not a LeBron post or not a LeBron pod. But, I mean, the guy, think about it. He can walk up out of here and say, I got more points than Kareem. I got more rebounds than Patrick Ewing. I got more assists than Magic Johnson. I got more steals than Scottie Pippen. That's crazy, man. How you gonna your best trait is passing, but you the all-time leading scorer? Come on, let that sink in. Come on. But needless to say, the Cavs probably gonna beat the brakes off of them. And that is all we trying to get to. That is all we trying to get to. Murder, She Wrote. I'm with my grandma. Hey, look, hey, Black Diamond, boy, at Murder, She Wrote. Angela Lansbury will be around here just figuring crimes out with a pocketbook. I'm like, that woman ain't got a gun, mace, a taser, nothing. She just over there just moving around. And she got an old pocketbook with some Fig Newtons inside in a checkbook and a notepad. I'm like, they done let Angela Lansbury roll up and catch him again. In the heat of the night, Texas run. Hey, Quantum Leap, by the way, Quantum Leap. Whew. I was always waiting for him to get back. I was always waiting. And then you got to throw in Highway to Heaven. Highway to Heaven. USA had something, man. And then at night, they got racy too. Silk stockings. Silk stockings, come on. Like, if you got, like, my parents was real religious. My dad was just on the show. He'd be like, hey man. Hey, what's going on that TV? I'm like, I don't know. This is regular cable, Dad. This ain't Cinemax. This ain't Showtime. They'd be like, silk stockings on USA. Oh, man. Good deal, man. Thank you guys, everybody, for dropping in all the super chats, man. We were over 80. Let's see if we can make that over 90. We'll shoot for over 90 next time. Cavs coming up here. You know where to find me at. It's your boy G Bush, the best Cavs content in the game. And you gotta follow me. Follow me on Twitter at GBush91 on Twitter. Follow me. You can hit me up at GBush91 on Twitter. Make sure you check out the barbershop. You can find it on the Odyssey app. Download it 8 to 12 every single Saturday morning here in Cleveland, Ohio. Make sure you check that out as well. If you want to super chat, I'm always here. Super chat on YouTube. You hit me up on PayPal, $GBush91 on Cash App. And as always, man, it's your boy. You don't never know when I'm about to show up. All you got to do, listen for the Clippers. We'll talk to you later.